It is all the news, all the time, and my name, as always, is Adam. Yeah, it's really nice of you to be here. I thought we'd look at something more thoughtful today. I wanted to look at this article, which is in Reddit, and it was written by Succubint. It's like a succubus, but Succubint. And there she is. And she was talking about why does the media keep portraying Johnny Depp as a monster and a murderer and a killer and a kidnapper and all the most horrendous things they can find, and why are they constantly pushing this this narrative? And I think Succubint makes some very good points here, so I wanted to go through them. And she's saying, why this hill to die on? Why the open letter, which is the recent thing that came out very recently, and the amicus curiae, the friends of the court. So she's saying, just like many other supporters of Johnny Depp as a victim of narcissistic abuse, I've been trying to wrap my head around why the legacy media and certain activist groups are tripling down on this Depp v. Heard case. Why are they still supporting a proven liar, abuser, perjurer and opportunist to such a degree that it seems to fly in the face of all the evidence presented in court or available to anyone? How can they turn a blind eye to only Amber having been arrested for DV, or the audio tapes where she abuses him or admits to abuse, or the fact that many women have either testified as witnesses against her or in support of JD? Why ignore the fact that Amber was exposed again and again as a liar under oath, and yet every single newspaper article is always promoting Amber Heard and Johnny Depp in a nasty way? Did Johnny Depp really say this about animal violence, and so on and so forth? Amber Heard states the insurance company should pay her this money that she owes, and so on and so forth. Why is Johnny Depp in the Savage X Fenty fashion show, and so on? Why are they constantly pushing that agenda after all the evidence of 6 weeks of trial? Well, let's have a little look. Why are they ignoring the millions who watched the court case live and came to their own conclusions based on knowledge and first-hand experience, who felt happy and vindicated by this verdict? The thousands of DV, SA and IPV survivors who saw their abuser in Amber and themselves in Johnny. So why are they choosing this hill to die on? Why do they keep pushing it? Why are they trying to make Amber Heard a martyr for a gender-based culture war, when she is so obviously and verifiably a violent, vindictive person who's refusing to stop victimizing her ex-husband through the media, the courts? She's such a terrible standard bearer for their ideological crusade, or their pathway to funding or profitable reporting. It did not make logical sense to me. Then someone on Twitter pointed out the obvious and it all clicked. I felt like a fool. I didn't see it earlier. It's not about Amber. It's not about championing her. It's not about championing survivors of domestic violence. It's never about Amber. It's about using Johnny Depp as the sacrificial lamb, because he's one of the most famous and beloved men on the planet. They needed to use his high profile to keep their war relevant. They wanted to take down a big name to score a huge win for the Me Too movement and other causes, which they rely on for gender bias to keep stoking outrage, donations, government funding for various schemes and projects, and media coverage, etc. This, I think, is the actual truth. A lot of these organisations and people gain huge amounts of money through schemes and projects and donations, and it funds their entire lifestyle, plus the kudos it gets them, plus the clout and the likes and the acclaim, and the ability to stand up and give speeches about how you're doing this, that and the other. And they needed a villain, who they could expose as a wolf in sheep's clothing. They decided on Johnny Depp, and since they've committed to that, they can't back down. And they can't admit that this whole thing is actually about money, fame, social clout on social media. It's about lobbying for policy and legislation and money, financial gain for themselves. It's about clear self-interest cloaked as collective good, with a lot of misandry thrown in as well, and man-hating. The amicus briefs, as we saw them a few days ago, show just how little they actually care for law, for the individual parties, for the actual facts of the case, for jurisdiction and verdicts in general. They spell it out for you. They want to send a societal message, and damn whether JD is the actual real victim here, trying to seek relief from actual defamation. They want to be able to talk about the salacious details. Commentators, they care more about the pundits. They want to do this without legal repercussion. They want to be allowed to have trials by media, public opinion with no consequence, and to completely ignore any legal due process. They want women to be able to make serious career-ending allegations in the media and not have to be challenged about it. I mean, this would be joyful for them. This is their end goal. And several law tubers have pointed out that their arguments are simply wrong. Reporting abuse to law enforcement or the courts is legally protected anyway. It's extremely disingenuous to claim otherwise. Defamation is about public accusations made in the social arena, not the courts. It's about taking claims to the media rather than pursuing legal remedies for one's plight. How can they argue it's wrong to legally defend oneself from false accusations through the courts when you're faced with a PR smear campaign? It's outrageous from these newspapers and these fanatics on Twitter. That is what the defamation laws are expressly designed to do: give remedy when one's reputation is damaged by malicious, reckless, malicious and intentional lies with reckless disregard to the truth. The so-called amici keep trying to frame this verdict as discouraging reports to the relevant authorities of IPV, DV and SA, and yet this entire case is about how a woman weaponized the media more than once, culminating into the Washington Post op-ed in an attempt to destroy the victim's reputation in the public eye rather than pursuing justice through the courts. It's extremely uncommon for abuse perpetrators to sue their victims for defamation. It opens discovery, it's a high bar, especially if one is a public figure, and yet the amici assert that such cases are on the rise, obviously with no citations. They don't need any evidence. That's the last of their problems. They blame the jury's verdict, as in the cause, while also talking about a rise from 2014 to 20. Well, what's that got to do with the Johnny Depp verdict? It's not in 2014. So how about there's a rise in defamation case, because there's also a rise in Me Too allegations, some of which might actually be false. I would argue many would be false. I mean, it's a statistical thing, right? They are the ones who are spreading fear, having a chilling effect on survivors. They are purposefully causing anxiety through their disingenuous claims that Johnny Depp's win is somehow going to stop people from reporting to the police and the courts. It's illogical. And as I've said before, flat out wrong because of the legal protections already afforded victims. Heck, you can't even be sued civilly for making false police reports, perjuring yourself in court. You can't even be sued civilly for false reports. You can be prosecuted criminally if there are laws in your state and the DA is willing to press charges, but that's different from a civil lawsuit. Honestly, this is outrageous. She goes on to say, what a bunch of BS. I sincerely hope that the Appellate Court of Virginia allows both briefs to be accepted to the record and then to publicly excoriate them in detailed point-by-point opinions of dissent in the future, because you and I know these briefs are just publicity stunts. Again, trying to sway public opinion, again, trial by media. If you throw enough lies in the air, they turn into truth. A way to relitigate the case and give the media more pro-Amber headlines and hit pieces than ever before. And boy, do I want the court to publicly take them to task. Indeed, indeed mentions his agenda, cognitive dissonance, saving face, addiction to attention and desperation. But there's a larger issue here. This has been saying about things on here. What was I saying? What was I looking at here? Chance Hooper was saying third wave feminism. They're saying that it programs women to believe they're both equal to or even superior to men, but are also perpetual victims. So it's almost impossible for them to accept a woman can be a monster. But I think the main point here is point number 2. The people peddling that message have a vested interest in perpetuating it. Think of Kat Tenbarge and Eve Barlow. These are women whose entire persona revolves around screaming about men oppressing them and how hard it is to be a woman. I would add Michelle Dauber to that list, and many others, to be honest. They make an entire living, I'm going to call it the grievance business, and they make an entire living, and their entire persona revolves around how evil men are and how oppressed they are from their ivory tower of Stanford Law University. I'm sure it must be terrible. If they admit the privileges that women have, or admit that a woman could be a monster, then they can't continue to scream into the echo chamber of Twitter that pays their bills about being victims. So they have to continue to back this obnoxious, obvious abuser because she's a woman, regardless of the evidence. Imagine what happens to all these newspaper and websites that happily spewed out their lies about Johnny Depp and his supporters, right up to the point where she was found guilty, skipped out on paying her fines, got sued by her insurance companies for defrauding them if they admit they got it wrong, or that they let their gender bias overrule editorial standards. Every single one of them has done so. And fair reporting. How many of them get sued out of existence? So that's generally the principle. You've got militant third wave feminism combined with rampant misandry, combined with grievance culture, which is funding all of this. And it's literally funding it in hundreds of thousands of dollars and pounds every year for various causes and claims and projects. It's outrageous. The whole thing is outrageous, to be honest. It is just outrageous. And then let's have a look at another one of these idiots. Julia Fox defends Kim Kardashian amid Balenciaga ad campaign. I find it difficult to listen to this woman.
No child was actually harmed in that shoot, but millions of children are harmed in the church every day. And I don't see #cancel the church anywhere.
Oh, she's such an idiot. God, I can't handle even looking at her. She's just... and then she's in every post and every magazine and newspaper spewing out her barely considered half-baked ideas. I'm not going to listen to her because she's just generally annoying. So sorry about that. We were going to look at her views, but we're not. Kim's looking nice though. What else are we looking at today? I was looking at the Vogue runway Coperni Resort 2023 collection. I thought we'd look at some fashion because I like quite fashion sometimes. And we got 20 looks here. What have we got with this girl? We've got her trousers don't fit properly, and her jacket's got holes in it in weird places, and it looks like you can see her pants. If you're American, these are pants, but if you're British, these are pants and these are trousers. And so there you go. That's my opinions on that. What's the next one? Coperni, we've got quite an ugly bag, and she's in a weird posture. Any sort of weird posture where your pelvis is like leading always looks kind of strange, in my personal opinion. She's like being driven forward by the pelvis, which is odd. And what's with this belt? Is this some sort of space belt? It's kind of got a space vibe to it. Is she some sort of space person? Who knows? This whole thing doesn't match up. I don't know what's going on here. We've got some sort of Miami Vice jacket. We've got a green crazy bag from the Teletubbies, and we've got some just standard black trousers. I like the shoes with the square bits. They're quite funky. But the Teletubby bag and the weird jacket and the Miami Vice vibe, I'm not sold. What's going on here? She's forgotten her trousers again. She looks like someone who's gone to school and had to play PE in her pants, and it's not good. Looks like she needs a skateboard. We've got a space vibe with the green things going on. It's such a weird combination of stuff. It's like, hey, I'm going down the gym, but I've also got a wedding to go to, and I've also forgot my pants. I don't know what's going on. Let's have a little look. This is number 5. It's my old aerial from a flat I used to have. That's one of my aerials. Yeah, it is. It's got snapped. I used to be able to only get Channel 4 and BBC 2. I'm glad they found some use for that aerial, which is great. And what do we got here? Looks like she's at the gym. She's got some sort of skirt, short. I'm going to call them skort. I'm going to call this a skort. It's a terrible word. Neologism, or portmanteau. I like portmanteaus. Do you remember portmanteau was actually a big case, and because the word port means to carry and manteau is coat, and you could carry 2 coats in this big like suitcase, and that's where the word comes from, portmanteau. When you stick 2 words together, it's a portmanteau, and that's my old aerial, which is lovely. So what's going on? Again, she's forgotten her pants. These literally look like boxer shorts. And it's kind of just such a weird look. It's so unusual. She's got to go to the gym. She's got a heavy day of doing some glute raises or something like that. But she's also got to dress up as a man and go to a wedding in a suit. But she doesn't know which one to do first. Let's have a little look. Okay. We got some sort of like cyberpunk skater girl going on. Which is quite strange things going on down here. Do these fold and come back up again? Who knows? Maybe you could put your paintbrushes in here. I don't know. Sort of looks like a cyberpunk skater from the year 2040. which I quite like. What's going on next? Nice. Now we've got something that actually looks quite nice. I like everything apart from the belt. But I'm getting Miami Vice, sort of the white, I sell ice cream, or cocaine, either one. That sort of vibe. Don't like the belt. It looks like one of those sort of utility belts that people go hiking in the mountains with. And there's like a poo bag here, and I don't know, some paracetamol in this one. Who knows what's going on? Okay, cool. She's at a rave. She's a raver, and she's got no pockets, which always annoys women. If you don't want, like, if you want pockets, buy pockets. Stop complaining you haven't got pockets. And go, oh, I haven't got pockets. If you buy this, you can't complain you haven't got pockets, because you've got voluminous space down here for wading, and you can go fishing in your waders, which is lovely. What do we got next? I don't know what's going on. She's maybe she's a dancer. She's got a leotard. She's got some stocking type things, the hold ups, and she's got weird sleeves. I don't really know what's going on. Possibly a dance outfit. Okay. It looks like it's sort of two-dimensional. Like the bag is just like a two-dimensional bag, like a sheet of paper. And this looks like a sheet of paper. She looks really angry about stuff, probably because she's been made to wear this and she's not happy about it. You know, I wouldn't be blaming her. What have we got here? Some really ugly jeans and a t-shirt. So really ugly jeans that go all the way down, come back up with a weird belt and a t-shirt. If I gave that marks out of 10, I would say -3 for that. -3. I like this. I like the fact that she's going scuba diving very shortly in her weird purpley lilac outfit with the black and white boots. I like that about people when they go scuba diving. I like that. It's bizarre. Generally, it's generally bizarre. Why has she got scuba goggles? Is that probably not? Those are probably a handbag, isn't it? It's a handbag where everyone can see your stuff. Okay, cool. Even less. Great. What have we got here? It looks like one of those sea creatures, with like a frilled anemone or a clam thing going on, and she's got like this weird, ugly sort of rectangular skirt and really thin, gangly legs, and it's not great. If you saw this girl out, you'd be thinking, oh, she looks ill and sad and a bit distressed. You know, she probably needs like a taxi or something. Okay, what's going on? What else we got? She's at a party, but she's action girl. She's ready to go. She's gonna climb a mountain and steal the jewels with a tiny little bag, which is great. You can't really wear that in the normal world. You can't, like, I've never seen a woman like in the normal world wearing such a thing. I've never, and with a see-through bag, never in my entire life have I seen a woman wearing something like that. So I give that an 11 out of 10 because it's just impossible. What else is going on? This is nice. It's sort of like a dance sort of outfit. I'm thinking tango or what else am I thinking? The Paso Doble. I like it. It's chic, it's tight, it's lacy, it's black, it's lingerie-like, it's quite sexy. I like it very much. It's good. What's going on here? This is hideous. It's just straight up hideous. She's got some sort of weird floofy jumper that she borrowed from her boyfriend, and then she's got this weird skirt thing. It's probably the walk of shame of the night before, and she's borrowed a jumper, and she was out in this outfit. Now she's got a hoodie on, and she's trying to slope off back home after being out and about. What else? There's my aerial. Cool. Yeah, it is. That's a classic rediffusion aerial. Lovely. Yeah, it fell off the roof because of the pigeons, which was a bit unfortunate. And I like the dress. I do like the dress, actually. This bag is frankly ludicrous. Is that a bag, or is it just a phone with a strap? Who knows? Who knows with these people? It could be literally anything. But I like the aerial. I'm a fan of the aerial. It cost 70 quid to put that aerial up, and then it fell down. Oh, so annoying. And what else is going on? I like the aerial. Very good. A bit of aerial action. Nice. And yeah, because you have to point it in the right direction. What the actual F are those? You can't walk around like this. You can't. You'd be like, people would lock you up. they'll say, look, Emily, her name's Emily, you can't walk around the streets with these square trousers, no top on, wearing a see-through top. If you go to the kebab shop, they're literally going to arrest you. And then there's going to be questions. Questions. And they're going to say, why have you got an aerial? Why have you got Adam's aerial from his old flat? Why have you got that? And why have you got no top on? And what's with the trousers? And stop shouting at the pigeons. All that sort of stuff is going to go on, and it's going to be terrible. So let me know your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams. I can't stay on this photo. I need to find a more sensible one. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, and like and subscribe. And we'll do a giveaway on the previous video. That'd be good. And join the membership. And I think that's about everything. And I will see you guys later.